Such a beautiful morning this morning. Came down into a very good hike into the mountains. I'm getting ready to fish pretty much a little secret honey hole that I found. About the whole summer it's not been good down here, and there's not any other fisherman that really fishes it. I know they're not pressured, but now things are starting to change now that we're getting these cool nights. The winter or the summer transition into winter has already happened. Start to notice fog and everything in the mornings when you get these cool nights. Usually that's an indicator that it's happening. So I'm going to see if these bass are starting to school up and chase these shad out here, and we'll see how it goes. Not a very big one, but it's a good start. A lot of small ones biting today. That's fun. Small but fun. Here we go. A little bit better. A little bit better. It's looking to me like they're in these shallow spots where all the grass is. Just kind of getting clues here and there about it. But it seems like the further down I get to the lake, the bigger and bigger they get. Still getting a little better. Man, I don't think there's any big ones up shallow. We'll keep trying. Pretty decent topwater bite today. Well, I've hit the jackpot on the small ones today, but at least there's a topwater bite and it's fun. I hope I can roll a big one on there soon. Got him. A decent topwater bite today. Small. Not very big, but fun. Oh, that was a big one. Oh, man, my ass. That was a big one. That was a fucking hammer. Oh. Alright, I think that's going to be it for my fishing today. It turned out really good, but it's getting kind of tough. I've noticed that we're running into a fall transition pattern. So what happens is once these nights start getting colder, you're going to start noticing these fish schooling up, and they'll get into the back of these bays, and they're going to try to corral these fish into these pockets and coves. So the part that's really tough about this transition is they're not really holding to anything that you can aim at. So a lot of times you'll see them come up and just start boiling, and you basically got to have something ready to go and throw out there and try to catch them. So the luck that I've had today, I did have a really good luck on a Xeric spinner bait, the Infinity Blade, and that's usually has been my bread and butter so far with these new baits. And so far, you know, a lot of these fish right now are also clinging to hard cover. And well, anyways, here's I noticed that there's a lot of perch in that lake too. So, and I'm pretty much fishing this thing blind. I don't have any electronics. I'm just going natural, old school on this place. I've got to pack everything in, and I got to go super light on everything. So the one I chose was the one that I would think would be closest to the perch, and that's this Xeric right here. So this little guy right there, it's 28 grams. I wasn't fishing it with this white trailer on there earlier. When I got up close to the waterfall, I switched to that, but I was fishing a Keitech that has the chartreuse blue and green colors to it, and it meshed it very well, but I was out of them. Those perch are a nuisance in there, and they will bite the tails off of your paddle tails, so you got to watch that. And that's kind of the trouble I had too. But anyways, this Infinity Blade by far has caught me the most fish out of anything that I've pretty much got out of these new lures. But that doesn't mean anything. I'm just really dialed in on spinner baits is what it is, and I have a lot of confidence and a lot of experience with them. This other stuff is a little bit of a learning curve right now, since I'm trying to figure out what situation's best for them. So I'll show you this other one. Since we had a good overcast that day and really clear water, I had this little guy right here, and that's another Xeric. That's the Skittish Dog. So that pattern seemed to work really well. It's kind of a ghost color, and it's got a little chartreuse on the head of it, and it's white on the underside and on the top, and clear in the middle. And I had my biggest fish on it today, and the problem I had was hooking up. I mean, they would come up and they would swipe at it, or they would just I just couldn't get them hooked good, even though these things have really good hooks. You know, the good thing about these baits is you don't have to switch out any of the hardware. The rings, the hooks, and everything are upgraded out of the package, and they're owners. They're either BKKs or owners, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But yeah, I did really good with that. Caught most of mine on this other one. I'll show you what I got here. I believe it's a Lure Fans. Let me set you down here. All right, what I caught most of my fish on today was a Fish Art. And I'm not too sure which one this is. It's a lot like the Skittish Dog, it's just smaller, it's just downsized. But I went with that white color with that chartreuse back. And seems like this thing right here really triggered those bass, but it didn't really trigger the big ones. I noticed when I did upsize to that Xeric, that Skittish Dog, that it really did good on bringing out the bigger fish. So, but you know, the majority right on this guy right here. The lure was really easy to work. I didn't have any complaints with it. It, you know, just like any other rip bait, they glide really smooth on the water. You know, it's got a nice little tight zigzag. These fish were just coming up and nailing it. I tried to start targeting some of these bigger fish, but couldn't figure out where they were. And I did notice that a lot of these fish, I was catching a lot of them on the edges and on some hard structure. But there's that transition pattern is starting up, so some of these fish are schooling and they're out in the middle chasing shad or something. I don't know if they're chasing shad. I've noticed you know, this place, I'm not too sure about what their forage is, but whatever it is, they are chewing on them. So they're schooling, and they're trying to run these things into to try to corral them. Any information on these lures, I'm going to put it down in the description, and give you the links if you guys want to order some of these. I will say that these lures are a JDM product, and with a JDM product you have this certain quality built into them, And just like Lucky Craft or Mega Bass or any of those good ones, these are no different. You may not have heard them, but if you ever look in the JDM market, there's so many of them. These ones are just been brought over and used by Americans as far as Mega Bass and Lucky Craft. This is just one more. This is just another one. Like I said, you got your great paint jobs and you got your great hardware on these things. And the difference in these lures from any other lure is there too. So if you're looking for something that's just different, that these fish have never seen, I have noticed that with my spinner baits, I've been getting something a little extra on these, because it's got a little kicker, a spinner underneath the chin of it. So but I have noticed a little bit of I've got a couple of spinner baits to try out. Okay, there is another one that I've got to try out here pretty soon, but the Xeric is pretty much taken over all the ones that I'm used to using. So I've been catching more on it, and I have to say it's probably due to that extra little spinner. It's kind of makes it like a little underspin too. So, but I'm gonna leave the product information down in the description, so if you guys want to order some, you can. And I will let you know that these lures, if you go look at these JDM lures, they come with a cost. Okay, so what's good about these lures are all JDM quality, but don't have the JDM price. They got so much to offer. There's a lot of lures. I've got so many to try out and test that there's just I'm trying to figure out the situations are best for each one. But I'm one by one I'm finding them on these lures. But anyways, guys, I just thought I'd do a video on these 3 lures here and show you, that these catch just as good, if not better, than anything else that's out there, and you don't have to spend all the money. You're going to look at about a 40% savings on these compared to other JDM. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.